In the shlokas covered in the previous video, that is the 21st video, where we covered 7 to 12 shlokas of chapter 3, Shri Krishna tells us that karma performed sincerely without attachment is far superior, and that work done for yajna or sacrifice frees us from karma bandhana. In the beginning of creation, Prajapati created mankind and yajna as well, and he blessed humans, saying that thou shalt attain desirable things by performing yajnas and be happy. Foster the gods through sacrifices, and they in turn will bless you with prosperity. Shri Krishna asks us to share our belongings with others and condemns those who enjoy the benefits given by God without offering to them, and he even calls them a thief. So in continuation, let us move to the 13th shloka. यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वगं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्. यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः सर्वकिल्बिषैः मुच्यन्ति. Santah, saintly persons. So those saintly persons, yajñashishtashinah, who consume the remnants of food offered in the sacrifice. Sarva kalbishaihi muchyante. So those saintly persons, they are relieved from sarva kilbishaihi, all sins. Ye papaha atmakaranat pachanti te tu agama bunjate. Bunjate is eat. So, ye papaha is those sinners. Those sinners, atma karanat pachanti. That is, they cook. Pachanti is cook. They cook for self-consumption. They cook for nourishing their own body. For their own sake, they cook. Tu agama bunjate. Agama is sin. So, bunjate is eat. So, they consume nothing but sin. The saintly persons who eat the remnants after offering food to the gods in the yajnas are free from all sins. But those sinners who cook food to nourish and grow their body verily eat sin. So while earning means for our livelihood and to lead our lives, we commit different sins. While cooking food in the fire, we inadvertently kill some living beings. While cleaning the house, while drinking water, eating food, without our knowledge, we commit sins. We kill some living beings. So to get rid of these sins, the shastras prescribe the pancha yajnas: deva yajna, bhuta yajna, brahma yajna, pitri yajna, manushya yajna. Certain other yajnas are also prescribed to overcome the various sins that we could have possibly committed in the previous births. So all yajnas, sacrifices done with sincerity, that is offering food to devas, pitrus, fellow living beings and other animals and birds, help us to purify our mind and take us forward in the path of spirituality. So it is important that from the little that we have, we need to make sacrifices to others and eat the remaining portion. The selfish who cook food only for self-consumption to grow and nourish their body accumulate sins. Now 14th and 15th shlokas. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyatanna sambhavah yajñād bhavati parjanyah yajña karma samudbhavah karma brahmodbhavam viddhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajñe pratishtitam. Bhutani annat bhavanti. Bhutani, living beings. Annat bhavanti. So living beings subsist in this world from food. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Parjanya is rain. So anna, food grain production is possible because of parjanyat, because of rains. Parjanyaha yajñāt bhavanti. Parjanyaha, rains, occur because of yajna. Because of yajna or sacrifice. Yajnaha karma samudbhavaha. Sacrifices are born from karma, the prescribed duty. So if people do their prescribed duties, then yajnas are done. Karmaha brahmodbhavam. The prescribed duties are stated in Brahma. Brahma here refers to Vedas. So the prescribed duties, what karma people need to perform, they are stated in the Vedas. Brahma Akshara Samudbhavam. The Vedas emanated from the indestructible. So, who's the indestructible? God, Lord Vishnu. Vidhi tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yagne pratishtitam. Vidhi is no. Tasmat, therefore Arjuna, vidhi no. Sarvagatam brahma nityam yagne pratishtitam. Sarvagatam, the omnipresent, all-pervading Brahma, Lord Vishnu, the God, the Supreme, nityam yagne pratishtitam, is always established in sacrifice or yajna. So, this sloka explains the chakra of life and sacrifice. By doing yajna, rains occur, and then if rains occur, then food production. Man lives in this world, he sustains only because of food production, and rains occur because of yajna, and the prescribed actions, the karmas, they are stated in the Vedas. And know that the Vedas emanated from Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu himself is present in the sacrifices. So, because the Supreme Lord Vishnu is present in yajna, performance of sacrifices makes us pure. As said in Shloka 13, when a devotee partakes of what remains after offering to the God in sacrifices, after offering food to God as naivedyam, and a devotee consumes the prasad, the body is also nourished spiritually. The devotee becomes free of all sins committed not only in this janma but also in the previous births. So, all barriers to progress in the path of moksha, in the path of spirituality, are removed. We find that countries also sometimes face severe droughts. When selfishness increases and performance of yajna or sacrifices by humans is on the decline, then you find that rains fail and drought occurs. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati hayah agayurindriya ramah mogam partha sajivati. Partha, O Arjuna, yaha iha evam pravartitam chakram na anuvartayati. Anuvartayati follows what? Pravartitam chakram. In the previous shloka we saw the cycle, the chakra of life and sacrifice. So, yaha evam pravartitam chakram, that person who does not follow the chakra of life and sacrifices that has been set in motion in this world, Indriyaramaha saha agayuhu mogam jivati. Saha is he. So that person who does not follow this cycle of yajna and life, and Indriyaramaha, the Indriyaramaha who rejoices in sensual pleasures. Agayuhu, he leads a sinful life. Aga is sin. Anaga, in one shloka, Shri Krishna calls Arjuna Anaga sinless. So Aga is sinful. So that person leads a sinful life. Mogam jivati, his life is in vain. So that person who does not follow the chakra of life and sacrifices, that person who rejoices in sensual pleasures leads a sinful life in vain. The chakra of life and sacrifice has been set in motion by Prajapati himself. At the time of creation, he created humans and sacrifices as well. And by blessing humans to benefit through sacrifices, Prajapati ensured that the cycle of life and sacrifice is put in operation. So, following that chakra is absolutely necessary. A karma yogi who lives in this material world inadvertently commits many sins. While eating, while earning the means for his livelihood, while cooking, cleaning, and performing other day-to-day activities, he commits sins. So, therefore, to get rid of those sins and purify oneself, performing yajna and sincerely following the chakra of life and sacrifice is necessary. The person who does not follow the chakra of life and sacrifice as prescribed in the Vedas, meaning he only lives only for gratification of senses. So that person who does not perform the pancha yajnas, he does not help other living beings, fellow humans, that person who does not follow the cycle of life and sacrifice as prescribed in the Vedas, such a person leads a life of sin and lives in vain. यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते तु यः मानवः आत्मरतिः एव but यः मानवः that man आत्मरतिः एव who takes delight in self in atma atmatryptah cha he is satisfied by dwelling on self, by dwelling on atma. Triptah, he is satisfied. Atmani eva santushtah syat, he is happy by dwelling, he is very very happy by being in the atma. Tasya karyam na vidyate, such a person has no work to perform. So in this shloka Shri Krishna tells us that only for those highly evolved persons who have experienced the supreme, the karma yoga doctrine, the karma yoga dictum is not compulsory, because this person who is atmaratihi, who is atmatriptah, atmani eva santushtah, that is that person who finds joy, happiness and satisfaction by dwelling on the atma, he has no requirement to perform any karma. This means that all other persons must do their karma. So Arjuna also must perform his karma in accordance to the Kshatriya dharma. Talking about these persons who dwell on the self, such highly evolved saints are very very rare. They are too close to the supreme, they are too close to Krishna, and hence they are not physically so much active, and they are not performing duties like others. However, people who act and who do their day-to-day activities in the material world, however good and noble they may be, they have to perform their duties as prescribed, and they need to do the yajnas recommended, prescribed, with all sincerity to get rid of the sins inadvertently committed and to remove the little bit of ignorance and impurities left in them. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna makes it very clear that the karma yoga principles do not apply to the realized sages who are in contentment with the atma. To such evolved persons, the karma doctrine does not apply, because they have already realized the highest fruits of karma, which is moksha. Naiva tasya krute nartaha na krute neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः tasya iha kritena kaschana artha na. Tasya here refers to those evolved persons. Iha loke, in this world, kritena kaschana artha na. So this evolved person has no purpose to fulfill through performance of the prescribed duties. That is, by performing duties, he has nothing to achieve. He doesn't need to achieve anything. There is no purpose for performing the prescribed duties. Akritena eva na. Even by not performing his duties, there is no reason, and he is not going to lose anything. Cha sarva bhuteshu asya artavya pashrayah kaschit na. Sarva bhuteshu from other living beings, asya. So this person also has no requirement to depend on other living beings. So here is a self-realized person, a liberated and evolved person, and he has no purpose to do karma, because he has already achieved the highest goal, which is moksha. So he may or may not do duties, he may or may not work. It doesn't make a difference for him, because he has nothing to gain or lose. He is a self-contented, satisfied person. Hence, he is not dependent on other living beings for any object. He doesn't seek nor does he desire anything from other living beings. So, he has nothing to gain by performing sacrifices or by doing any karma. He doesn't lose anything by not performing his duties, by performing action also. But for all other persons, including Arjuna, who operate in this material world, the karma doctrine applies. So Arjuna, as per his Kshatriya Varna, should perform his duties, protect his people. He must do his dharma. He must protect his people and country. Tasmat asaktah satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. Tasmat asaktah satatam karyam karma samachara. Tasmat, therefore, Satatam. Satatam is always. Asaktaha, without any desire. Karyam karma samachara. So always perform the prescribed duties, karma, without any attachment. That is asaktaha, without any attachment. He asaktaha karma acharan purushaha param apnoti. He, because asaktaha karma acharan purushaha, that man who performs his karma, that is his prescribed duties, asaktaha, without any attachment, param apnoti, he attains Paramatma, he attains the Supreme. So, summing up, the prescribed duties as per Varna, as per Ashram, as per the Guna, the qualities, inherent qualities of a person should be performed without fail. Now, what are the prescribed karmas? They are stated in the Vedas. The sacrifices, the Panchamahayajnas are stated in the Vedas. They should be performed to lead a peaceful life, to enable smooth operation of the chakra of life and sacrifice. The prescribed duties, how should they be done? They should be done without any attachment. So, number one, all the prescribed duties should be performed. The chakra of life and yajna, sacrifice, they should be followed, and the duties must be performed without any attachment. So when a karma yogi does karma without any attachment, then his mind is purified. So in a nutshell, this shloka tells us that detached action purifies mind. The mind ascends to the highest plane and realizes the Paramatma. So Lord Krishna, we find that he gives utmost importance to karma yoga, because a majority of us in the material world, in this world, they could be, as high as 99%, they are inclined only to karma yoga and bhakti yoga. Only a very small percentage, they are inclined to jnana yoga. So Lord Krishna reiterates the importance of karma yoga, and he explains how detached action can help us attain moksha. To summarize what we have covered in this video, in the 13th shloka, Shri Krishna tells us that the righteous who eat the remnants after offering to the devatas and after making other sacrifices are free from sins. On the contrary, the selfish persons who cook for themselves, they only consume sins. The wheel of life and sacrifice need to be strictly followed by a karma yogi. Those who do not follow this wheel of sacrifice and life, they lead a life of sin. As per the chakra of life and sacrifice, the Supreme Lord Vishnu, from whom the Vedas emanated, is present in sacrifices. The Vedas state that man should perform sacrifices so that rains occur and cultivation of food proceeds smoothly. The highly evolved Jnana Yogi, who takes delight and is satisfied in self, in Atma, has no duty to perform. Neither does he gain nor lose anything by performing karma or duty. He does not depend on any living being, as he desires nothing from them, except for such jeevanmukthas, who are very, very few in number. All other persons, to all other persons, the karma doctrine applies.